my main thing for studying was to focus in class. Because if you focus in class and take good notes, then that's it. That's like the end of the deal. When it's like during exams, you just revise what you studied and that's it.
Yeah,
lots of bags, I have to say.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
And then you like buy your tickets and came to Turkey,
Yes,
right? Okay.
I did. What better is to like than to have like Turk friends, because I will be teaching them about my culture, they'll be teaching me about
the,
their
like
cultures.
the city and the culture and everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I did learn a lot with their help. My Turkish improved a lot with their help. Played volleyball a lot.
Volleyball, okay.
Yes, at the beginning I was really bad. I feared the ball a lot, but then when I got used to it, I don't know. It was so hard to stop. And actually 10 out of 20 students who receive the merit scholarship on like a semester basis are international students. So the international students are really benefited, like they're benefiting from this scholarship.
Hello, welcome again to the first educational podcast in Turkey Campus Podcast. Today we have Ms. Sandra from Íşk University. So we are getting to know her more well and her experience in Turkey, and also we are getting to know Íşk University more. So hello, Ms. Sandra, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. My name is Sandra. Let me introduce myself. I work in the International Office of Íşk University. I have been here, in the International Office for 4 years now. Thank you for Turkey Campus for inviting us here today, and for Mr. Omar for organizing everything, basically.
Thank you for coming and accepting our invitation. It's very honored to have you here.
The honor is all ours.
Thank you very much. So we've been hearing about Íşk University a lot, and also and the students in the fairs, they are meeting you in a lot of fairs, so you are very familiar for them.
Yes.
So we want to know you a little bit more about your what did you study? When did you came to Turkey?
I came to Turkey in 2016. The purpose of my visit to Turkey was for studying. I came here as an international student myself. I studied at Íşk University. I graduated in 2019. I studied business administration. So I know what the international students go through when they arrive, how they become homesick, basically the entire mentality of the international students, after moving abroad, starting a new life. Afterwards, I was recruited in the international office, and I also completed my master degree at Íşk. So I'm purely Íşk.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So yes, right now I'm currently just working.
Okay.
Yes.
So before coming to Turkey, you had to make the decision about going abroad your country, and also you may talked with your family about it, and how was their reaction? Did they just leave you alone to live in another country, far away from them, or how did they go?
Okay, so actually I have OCD when I make plans. I overthink a lot, and I make several plans. So my family always knew that I didn't want to study back at home, and I always let them know that yes, I am going to study abroad because this is what I think I should be doing. So they always kind of had prepared themselves for that day to come. Of course, when it came, when that day came, it was really difficult for them to adjust. It was even more difficult for me, but I always just took a step back and I didn't show it because, this is a decision that I took, and I knew that I had to just stand behind it,
stick to it, and
exactly. And my family were already sad and everything, so I didn't want to if I was sad, then it would have been worse. So I always knew that this day would come, so I had prepared myself as well. Turkey actually was my fourth option.
Fourth option, okay.
Yes. So choosing a university, especially while you're studying in high school, is very difficult because you're going through especially in the senior year, you're going through the finals and you want to get good grades, especially I was in a private school, so it was very competitive, and also dealing with the entire what's going to happen afterwards, which university am I going to get in. So Íşk University actually, me being enrolled in Íşk University was a coincidence, I want to say, because I have no idea when I had applied. At one point, I was like just in a place where I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was doing. And then I received an email reminding me about my application. And I was like, I was in a conversation actually chit-chatting with my mom, and I was like, oh, Mom, another university was like reminding me about my application. And she was like, which university is that? And I was like, it's a university called Íşk. And then she was like, how about we Google it and just look at it? Because I had lots of options. I was looking around, and then we Google about Íşk, we see, and then I like give them a call, get in contact with the international office, and 2 weeks later I was registering at Íşk.
Oh,
yes.
And like, how did you make that decision about this?
When I spoke with the international office, when I saw the university and where it was, I always wanted to live by the sea.
Yeah,
that I knew. And then I definitely did not want to like be in the center of Istanbul, in the chaos,
in the
basically.
And
yeah. So, and I knew I wanted to study business. That was like a done deal. But then, like, choosing the university that most is compatible with you, your personality, like your everything, is very important. So when I saw the university, I was like, okay, I think this is it.
This is it. Okay.
And 2 weeks later, I registered at Íşk and started my journey.
Okay.
Basically.
And like before choosing the university, you've made your decision about studying business administration, right?
Yeah.
And how did that goes? And like, did you like learn about yourself?
That is not an easy task. I wanted to do many things at the same time. I had lots of hobbies. I wanted to study neurology at first.
Neurology.
Yes.
From
that
neurology
is just
to business?
Exactly. Yeah. That is just because I was interested. I was curious about it. I'm always curious about it. I still read like books about neurology and like the human brain and everything. But business is because I always wanted to be a businesswoman at the end of the road. Like, no matter where what I would be studying, I knew that I would, just want to do like my own thing at the end of the road. So I just decided to go with it from the beginning.
Yeah. So like, to achieve this goal and this dream, you have to like
exactly
study,
build myself,
and
like the other things that I or I think I want to pursue are actually things that I could still be developing myself into down the road. Like, whether it's, neurology or psychology, I still read books about it. That is just because I'm interested in it. Or, for example, I studied business, but I did my thesis about blockchain. So, yeah.
Okay, great. And also, like, there's a lot of students, they are like interested in studying psychology and economics and maybe international trade and all of things, but they don't like know what to choose. So do you like want to define the business administration department to them? If you like have this kind of thing is in your personality, so the business administration department would be perfect for you.
Yes, of course. Business administration is actually a comprehensive department, or like a program for like that includes marketing, a bit of marketing, a bit of sales, a bit of finance, accounting. So anyone who's interested in those areas, or like they're not sure which one to choose of those areas, they could like study business, and then they could take their master's in one of these programs or departments, because it's a comprehensive program. Actually, it has lots of wide horizons, lots of opportunities, lots of doors that could open up and lead up to like very bright careers, I would say. And especially like doing masters and MBA is something that even engineers take at one point.
Yeah.
Because like, no matter what you study, no matter which industry you're in, there always has to be someone who knows about business to run it for you.
Of course, like graduating from medicine department or engineering department, I think every person have to know a little bit of every part that you've said.
Exactly.
Like you have to know a little bit of sales to convince the opposite person or the person they are talking with about the offer that you want to to make, and also you have to know a little bit of marketing in order to your like personal branding and also your your own success by yourself or your company's success. So it's very good to study business. So as you said, like many people are graduating from engineering and medicine and everything, and then like switching their entire career to business by studying MBA and like
even
these
if
kind
they
of
want to
departments.
pursue, for example, even if you graduate from medicine, you want to open your hospital, like at one point you'll have to know a bit about business in order to be able to open your hospital and run it, because you have to have like the solid backgrounds for you to be able to accomplish that. So
Yes. And what is the advantages of studying MBA? Because like a lot of people who've like already graduated from the undergraduate degree, they are considering studying MBA to know a lot more about the business and like project management or management in general and everything. So can you tell us about
yes,
the
of
MBA
course.
department?
So as I said, for the other programs, like whether it's engineering, whether it's architecture or medicine, for them, they have to know a little bit about business. That is okay. But for a business major student who like has graduated from business to do an MBA, it's just because they're confused. Yes, I was confused. I'm completely admitting that. I didn't know, like I know I had many options, but I wasn't sure which one I should pursue. Like whether I should just like go in marketing
or international relations,
exactly,
maybe.
Which one I should like pursue. And I also talked to my professors about that, like the professor that I was close with, and they were like, okay, how about you do MBA and you will find yourself more in that. Like you will discover yourself more, you will discover your potential, which is true actually, because I did my master's with thesis, so I had 7 courses. And 7 courses were about, the ones that I selected at least were about innovation, R&D, marketing. So these were like, okay, this is what like I see myself in. So that is how like it helped me develop more about like what I want and build up my career, I would say.
I think it's very useful in terms of like self-development and also career development. It's good. So back to like the beginning of the story. So you've chosen your department as business administration, and then you've chosen like Íşk University, and then you prepared your bag and everything.
Oh my God, yes. Lots of bags, I have to say.
Okay, great. And then you like buy your tickets and came to Turkey, right? Okay.
I did.
After this, coming to Turkey, and did you are you living here by yourself, like alone, or with your family?
I am living by myself. I even came by myself with all my luggage. I mean, right now I think I see students coming with their families, or like their families assisting them with like, until they are allocated at the dormitories. And I'm like, wow, they're lucky, because I came by myself and it was difficult. At one point, I remember just sitting on my bags and I was like, oh my God, I'm just so tired.
What I'm going to do. Yeah.
I'm just so tired. I literally was so tired. And I was like, okay, Sandra, you took this decision. You came all the way. So get up and like continue. And I did. Until I reached the international office and they helped me with everything. But I have been living alone for the past 7 years.
Did you live in dormitory or
a
flat?
I did, yes. Okay. The first day at the dorms, I was alone. I didn't even know where to get water. And I had milk with me. So instead of water, I just drank milk. Okay. that is a sad story. But no, there are these difficulties I think every student goes through after they move out.
Yes.
Especially since I wasn't accustomed to living alone. I mean, up until I moved out, everything was just provided for me, and all of a sudden I had to like just think
the
about
laundry,
like
the food and
oh,
everything.
the laundry. I had to call my mom the first few months while doing everything. Like, Mom, how do I do the laundry? Mom, how do I cook this?
Yeah,
how
of
do I
course,
do
because
that?
like I
Yeah.
recognize that there is something called we have to like separate the white and the colors
Yes,
and like make
exactly.
it separately. I didn't like understand this until I came to Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my mom is also like, she has OCD and she is like obsessed with cleaning and everything. So there are other rules that she taught me about laundry, and it was difficult. And then the dryer, I remember the dry, like I really I don't know. I was challenged by the dryer because it just ruined my clothes, and
Yes.
then I had to like, and I didn't know how to iron. I still don't
Yeah.
know how to iron. That's another story. But yeah, and the cooking part is also
Yeah.
very challenging.
So did you like learn any recipe in Turkey like after coming by calling your mom maybe
So,
or searching in YouTube and
yes,
internet?
and because I was vegan, I already knew how to make a few vegan
Yeah.
recipes.
Because like you
but
don't have to cook much, or as I think, I don't know.
exactly. I mean, I don't remember that I used to cook much when I was a student. No, it was mostly eating outside or like just making a toast.
Yeah.
Avocado toast. That was like my go-to every single day. I remember one day I came back from my classes and I had a training in 1 hour, and like I only had 1 hour to cook. I had nothing in the refrigerator. I had pasta. My roommate had like cooked pasta, and I had tahini and olive paste. Tahini, you know.
Okay.
And I had olive paste, which is like in Turkish called zeytin ezmesi.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, maybe I can mix these with the pasta and eat.
And came
but
with like
no,
a different
don't.
plate. Oh,
Yeah,
no. Okay.
no, don't ever try that.
Yeah, I was excited
think,
about like tasting this like plate after making it.
I think it was one of like hands down one of the worst things I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I had to, and then I had to go and catch my training. So
don't try this at home.
Don't try this. Don't try
Yeah,
this. I
okay.
could give you better recipes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So, by the way, could you like give us a quick recipe that a vegan student can like wake up in the morning and make it?
Yes, of course. I have a very secret oatmeal recipe
Okay.
that I've never shared with anyone, and
okay.
it's basically
So exclusively out
yes,
at our
exclusively.
podcast. Yeah.
This will be between us.
Okay.
So you just bring oatmeal. You pour a bit of milk and like on it, and then put it on the stove. Or if you want, you can just have it like on its own. But I like it to be warm, especially in winter. It's better being warm. And add like one or 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, which is my favorite. And then add your favorite nuts and raisins. I also like raisins and banana. And voila, that's it. That's the easiest recipe, and it keeps you full for many hours.
This is great. Like while you're like explaining it, I'm trying to imagine what's the like results of the plate after doing it.
Yeah.
So this is good. Okay.
It is, and it's so tasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope maybe we can make it at our company. Maybe we can taste it also and
Yes,
like tell
of
you what is
course.
our feedback. Maybe
Yes,
you can say
please
we can
do.
to like adjust some
Exactly.
things on it. Okay, perfect. And then like coming to Turkey and living at the dorms, some of people like they may prefer like living with other people in shared rooms, and some of people like don't like to be like more like sociable in the dorms, and they don't like the dorms experience, and they are also afraid about dorms. Like maybe my partner will not be that good. Maybe I will like have to argue them. Maybe
Yes,
they are
I know.
not clean
I
or
went through
everything.
all these.
Okay.
Yeah, I also, when I was choosing the dorms, I knew I didn't want to stay alone because, I mean, I'm moving abroad. I want to experience, like, the university life, and I wanted to make friends. So, of course, like, I didn't want to stay alone. So, and I didn't want to stay in a 2-person rooms because I said, what if I don't get along well with my roommate? So I stayed in a 3-person room. I said, if I don't, I said, if I don't, like, get along with one of them, at least I would get along with the other one.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
That was my mentality. And before the end of that semester, I moved out.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that. I moved out with my best friend, and then I stayed with her. We stayed in like 2-person rooms. We basically turned the room to our house. It was really lovely. It became like our house. We had everything we wanted, and we got along really well.
So you are satisfied
yes.
actually with the experience
Exactly.
of dorm?
So, I mean, even if like you're nervous about like how your roommates will turn out to be, even if they don't turn out to be as you expect them to be, you can always change your room. The dormitory management will help you with that, because at the end of the day, your comfort is really important, because this place becomes your house. So you have to feel like comforted, secure, and safe. So yeah, they helped me change my room and everything, and I moved out with and I moved in with my best friend. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Do you like still in touch with her after all
my
this?
best friend?
Yeah.
She's still my best friend.
Oh,
We're together
perfect.
every weekend.
Yeah, this is actually very cool. Like, because like the
course.
friends that we've met in the university life, they are still like with us, and maybe we can do a
Yes,
business with us after the
exactly.
university and everything.
Yeah.
So this is actually very
Yeah,
precious.
we met the first week of at the start of the university, and we're still together.
This is
Yeah.
perfect. Okay. So after coming to Turkey, how did you like adjust the environment, the people, the culture? Like, is it? Do you have anything in common in terms of cultures between Iraq and Turkey?
Well, me being Turkmen, yes, we do have like some like similarities. Of course, as a country or as an environment, it's different than what I grew up with, or like what I was surrounded by.
The traditional things and
I
all this.
I also traveled a lot before like I moved out, so I was accustomed to like European cultures, or like I had visited Turkey multiple times. Of course, it's not the same as living there.
Yeah.
Because all these other trips were just for touristic purposes. But yeah, most of my friends were Turks.
Okay.
Yes, my group of friends were entirely Turks. I had a few like friends from like the international students. But yeah, like my mentality was that, you know, I came to Turkey. I am going to live here, so I like, what better is to like than to have like Turk friends, because you know I will be teaching them about my culture, they'll be teaching me about
the,
their
like
cultures.
the city and the culture and
Exactly.
everything. Okay.
And I did learn a lot with their help. My Turkish improved a lot with their help. I mean, I did speak Turkish when I came here because it's close to my native language.
Okay. Is it like totally different word and like grammar and the structure of the sentences?
The grammar is completely different, but the structure is more or so the same. It's just the accents are completely different.
Okay.
The Turkish accent is a bit lighter on the tongue. But yeah, like there were like, for example, the slang language, or like some words that I wasn't aware of, or like the inside jokes. And all of these things I got taught by my friends.
Okay.
Thanks. So yeah.
Do you like prefer to watch some movies or series in terms of improving your language, or like even maybe like after coming to here and watching them, maybe you like them? Do you have any recommendation about this?
For learning a language, I would say watch movies, listen to songs. So, for example, I don't think I've suffered with any language or like learning any new language, but like how, let me tell you how I learned English, for example, because English wasn't my native language. When I was a child, thanks to my siblings, I was listening to Westlife, and that is like when I was 6-7 years old. And Westlife was a very famous group, like a band at the time.
Okay.
And I was just saying their songs, like singing their songs, but using nonsense words because I was a child. So one day,
you're
like
just like going with the melody, but not knowing the words.
Yes, exactly. And then one day, one of my siblings was actually like, you know, come just write down the lyrics and practice them. And that is what I did. And that is how like I started to know or correlate the words to their meanings. Music was, for me, the best teacher for a language. But for like other people, I would say definitely watch movies with subtitles, and then because they are the best like teachers, you know, the inside jokes, you know, like the slang language, everything is like taught through movies or like songs with subtitles, and then like try to just, you know, without subtitles, so that it would be familiar to the ear, like after some point. And definitely practice makes perfect,
of course.
Yes.
Okay, great. Do you have any like recommendation about Turkish series or Turkish movie, even like comedy shows or anything like this?
I am well, I do not watch Turkish drama, unfortunately. Actually, like 2 weeks ago, my best friend and I, like, she made me start this series. It's called The Tailor, Terzi, on Netflix. And we did watch it, but unfortunately I don't know the shows.
No.
Yes. I can recommend for English, but like, yeah, for Turkish drama, yeah, like.
It's like before coming to Turkey, we've been hearing about the Turkish series and all the drama in this series and in the movies actually.
I think they are like translated.
Yeah, translated. Actually, there is some kind of doublage, and it's also with the Syrian accent. So we've been like growing up thinking that the Turkish language is actually the Arabic language, but in Syrian accents.
Yes, definitely don't watch these. Watch them in original like versions, but you could use subtitles. Definitely do not watch them like dubbed into other languages, because as I said, like the more you listen to the words, the more it becomes familiar to your ear.
Because actually the actors, they are like trained to be acting this role, this and this like specific role in this specific series. So the tone of their voice and like their body language and like their like looks at the other person is like teaching you some kind of like traditional cultures about how Turkish people like treat other people and everything. And after like coming to Turkey, after coming to here, we've like recognized or realized that there is actually a comedy part of Turkey, and there's like a comedy series, and there's comedians like Cem Yılmaz or Yılmaz Erdoğan and all of these like great comedians, and we've discovered this part of the Turkish people. And then we've watched like different Turkish shows about like cooking. One like they are just screaming to each other.
Oh my god, yes. I think my best friend's mom was watching a show, and my aunts too. They were watching it. It's like a show where like married women come together once a week, and one of them cook. One of them cooks, and then the others just rate. You get to know the Turkish food as well by this. But they fight a lot.
Of course, a lot. And also there is like some kind of Mr. Chef, but in Turkey, the Turkish version of it. And like some chefs are like teaching the other people how to make the Turkish like food and everything. And also during the university, we will move to the university life now. And during the university, like we had a course like made by the gastronomy department, the like food arts and everything. We've had the chance to like make 6 different dishes in Turkey, but I was like studying in Gaziantep University, and then there like it was totally for free, like providing it by the university to like to make the international students like more familiar with the Turkish culture and everything. And we've made 6 different plates and like dishes of the Turkish food, and all of them was included like a meat, and also like I don't know what is patlıcan in English, but
eggplant,
eggplant, and everything. It was like a very fun experience. And also the universities, like different universities, are providing these kind of like even chances to the students to participate in the Turkish cultures and everything. So tell us about your university life. So how was Sandra in the university? Like, were you a more of an introverted person or more of a social person? Were you like nerd studying her like classes and doing her homework, or what was your personality there?
I would describe myself a mix of like a little bit of everything, because during the weekdays and like my classes, I was always with my friends. We would like after like even we were like in separate classes or like separate departments, but every day like after our classes end, we would go have like a meal together or like do something together, go bowling for example, or go to the cinema. Afterwards, you know, I finished my university in 3 years. So I always had extra classes.
Okay.
Yes.
And summer courses and everything, right? Or
no, I didn't take summer courses.
How, like, how did you like finish it in 3 years without having summer courses?
Yes, when your GPA is like at a certain point, you are able to take extra classes.
That's why I don't know this.
Yes. Okay. So I always took extra classes. I always like my weekly schedule was very packed. But it was okay because I managed to like succeed at the end of the day. I'm not sure how I did that, but well done, Sandra. So yeah, like I would study at night, but my main thing for studying was to focus in class. Because if you focus in class and take good notes, then that's it. That's like the end of the deal. When it's like during exams, you just revise what you studied and that's it.
Actually, you are one of the few people that have so like managing doing this, because like before studying in the university, before coming to the university life, all our like older friends and older brothers like told us about this magic like recipe of studying in the university. You have to go to every single class and you have to take notes there, and then after taking notes you maybe like summarize these notes and also read a little bit of the book of this course, and after this you will gather all of these like summary papers, and then before the exam you will read it and then like solve a couple of questions about it. Maybe you will search more about it like before the exam, and then this is perfect. But we like all our university life, we've never like had the chance to like do this.
It's really important to take good notes. Like taking good notes is like very crucial if you want to like just succeed without having like to suffer or like facing any difficulties, because when the instructor is like explaining everything, they're very thorough with their explanations, but also your brain finds a better way to summarize it for like in a way that you would be able to understand.
You will customize even like these sentences the way you understand it.
So taking good notes is very important. That is what I used to do. The rest of my time, I never like just worried myself about, you know, I have to like study 10 hours a day. No, because I already suffered in high school a lot. So I just used to be with my friends. Of course, during finals, either way, you would have to like still suffer for 2 weeks, but that's okay. Like at least
it's not
like study.
like high school life.
Exactly, it's definitely not. So yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
And for example, for the weekends, I used to love to just go to the beach because like we have a gate that opens to the beach. I would just take books and go do my homework there, or like just read a book there.
Okay.
And
is it like really close to the beach that you can like walk to there?
Exactly. That is what I'm saying. Like my room always had sea view.
You've been dreaming about this like before coming to the university.
Yes, exactly. And my room had sea view, and the gate that opens to the beach was really close. So I would always like just take that gate and I would be on the beach basically, and I would either do my homework there or like just read a book. It's perfect for relaxing, perfect atmosphere for studying. So yes.
Okay. Were you like participating in any clubs in the university?
Yes, I did participate in a few clubs. I played volleyball a lot.
Volleyball, okay.
Yes, at the beginning I was really bad. I feared the ball a lot, but then when I got used to it, I don't know. It was so hard to stop. Yeah. Like you get this adrenaline rush to win and like to just play, so it was really fun.
Yes, but actually it's dangerous to be like close to the net at the volleyball. Like,
well, I was at the center. I was at the center,
okay.
So like I would be passing it to the others. Like my back was facing the net. So yeah, I loved that position. That position was like just made for me.
It's actually this is the best position in like volleyball,
It
because like
is.
you are receiving maybe the coming
Yes.
shots, and you are assisting the other people to make their shots, and
Yes,
also maybe you had the
exactly.
chance to like in the third touch, I think you will like move the ball to the other side, and it's just such a like a very, very enjoyable
It
play.
is. It's so fun. Like, I miss it right now. And also, I used to love to play basketball. And that is because, like, ever since I mean, I was in a house with like my brothers, so we had a basketball court, and they used to play. We always used to play, but like we would just shoot. They would play, but I was just shooting. So I missed that. I missed that feeling. So when I saw like the basketball court on campus, and it was really close to my dorm, every day, like before midnight, I would go there, and it would be empty. So I don't know. It would just help me like clear my thoughts and everything.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And also like tell us about Íşek University. So what is Íşek University? What makes like Íşek University special? And then after this, we will talk about the life on the campus more.
Okay, perfect. So Íşek University really focuses on the development of the students, and like not just throughout their studies at Íşek, but also like after they graduate. They keep a track on the students. They try to open lots of doors for them, lots of opportunities for them, and like this is something that I felt it myself, and this is also something that I say to all the international students. Once you become a student at Íşek, you become part of the family, because I've been in Íşek for 7 years, and yes, that is how like it became my second house, my second home actually. They really care about international students. They really care about providing the best experience for them, the best journeys for them. They want them to feel as welcome as possible. They're very hospitable, and they really care about knowing more about their cultures, like the international students' cultures. So annually we host the International Cultural Day, where the students are able to represent their cultures with like their clothing, or like some, for example, henna. I think this is very popular, with the food, or like their dances and everything. So they get the chance to make different performances, cook their favorite food. And this is like how, everyone gets engaged with it, whether it's like the university's rector, whether it's like all the other employees, whether it's the Turkish students themselves. So they all get to experience the other cultures. So it's a cultural exchange, actually. And this is very valued in Íşek University as well. And of course, the students, they start to feel they are part of it as well. This is like the most important thing, because as I said, we're one big family at the end of the day.
Okay, perfect. So when we say Íşek University, other than like being a hospitable university, and also love the international community and supported by making different events like the International Student Day, do you have like any special programs that you provide the students like other than this?
Programs as in like academically, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I think international students prefer engineering courses and engineering programs, and for that we have a very solid academic crew. They're all like professors who've graduated from very reputable universities around the world, and they are very eager to assist the international students and like convey the wisdom and education that they've gotten to the students themselves. And they assist the students. They push them like beyond their limits, which this is, I think, very important, because even if you're a student, don't get comfortable and stay in your comfort zone. The professors are always there to help. They're always very happy to help, and like whether it's a research, whether it's a job opportunity, whether it's like to get you through a connection that would help you with a job. So just reach out to them and allow them to push you. Like, don't be hesitant or be angry at that, because if they're doing that, it's just for like your own well-being, your own benefit at the end of the day.
Because most of the students are having fear about contacting the professor and asking them about something they didn't understand in the lecture, or maybe something in the course.
I completely understand that. I was like that myself. Actually, one of my favorite courses and my first courses or classes I went to, I was mesmerized by the professor, but at the same time, he was very intimidating. And I always was like, how do I even communicate with him? I mean, I didn't know actually. And then one day I was like, no, like I have a question and I want to ask it, and I did. And he was more than happy to. And then I became the best student at that class. I'm not bragging about that, but like it just, you have to take that step.
Yes.
You
shouldn't
have to like
just break this ice and
exactly,
take the
break
first
the
step.
ice. They are very friendly, no matter how intimidating they are. They're very friendly. At the end of the day, they're humans as well.
Yeah, they're actually expecting the students to ask them some questions about the course.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
The more eager you are, the better it will be actually, because the professors are already expecting that. So they're like just waiting for you to make the first move, because, you know, they have to see how willing you are.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So tell us about the departments that you have at Íşk University.
We have 3 faculties: Faculty of Engineering and Natural Sciences, Faculty of Economics, Administration and Social Sciences, and Faculty of Art, Design and Architecture. This is for undergraduate programs. The most preferred programs are, as I said, from the engineering faculty is biomedical engineering. Íşk University is actually one of the first universities that actually had biomedical engineering here. Software, mechatronics, and computer engineering. These are also like the most demanded, the most demanded programs. For like the social sciences, it's definitely business administration and psychology. Additionally, architecture program. These programs are like the most popular among international students. Yes, I believe like many international students like focus on engineering aside from medicine. We don't have medicine. Yeah. That's another issue. But yes, they do want to become engineers in different fields.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So right now we want you to imagine a student come to the university studying biomedical engineering, for example. And then he searched about the university at Google. He reached the international student office, and then went out from the international student office, and he want to see the university. So I want you to imagine that student and then tell us the story of this student walking to between the facilities and the studying in his department, and also going to a laboratory, and also if he had a free time and he want to hang out with his friend, so where can he hang out? Maybe he can go out to the campus to this B-side, and what can he do in the campus?
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to start by saying that the campus, Şile campus basically, is for undergraduate students, and the campus is designed to meet all the needs of the students. No matter what they need is provided on campus. So it's actually like a mini city or like a big home for them. So whether it's social areas, whether it's sport facilities, whether it's cafeterias, restaurants, supermarket, medical center, even a hair salon, these are all provided on campus. So a regular student would go to their classes on a daily basis, and the classes are actually close to one another. So it doesn't take long for them, and especially if they're staying on campus, it takes they could wake up 10 minutes before the class and just be able to attend the class on time.
You have dorms for boys and also for girls, right?
Yes, exactly. And we have the library, a very big library actually, and it has sea view. It gives the perfect atmosphere for studying as well.
Yeah.
Our digital library is actually the third biggest digital library in Turkey. We're very proud of that. And this also means that the students are, they have access to many resources, whether it's like e-publications, e-books, or articles. So all of these are provided for the students. The laboratories are also like, there is an entire building for the laboratories. So all the engineering students, like engineering students, go there. And each floor is like assigned to one department. So yes, after they finish their classes, they could go to cafeterias with their friends, or like to restaurants, or they could just go to beach when it's summer, or like when the weather is like warmer. So yes.
Yeah, actually being in Chile, it's very, very good. Like in terms of camping, actually, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been like camping
for
in
those
Chile
who
for
don't
a very long
know,
time.
the campus is actually located at the Black Sea coast, and it's surrounded by forests. So it's like being on vacation, I would say. And you said camping, yes. Many students go for camping as well, even though like they stay at the dorms and everything, but like they want to experience camping. I did it too. It's not for me. Camping is not for me.
Okay.
That's another story, but many like students enjoy camping actually. And being in Chile, having like being surrounded by all the forests and like the beach, it just, you want to experience that feeling as well, you know.
But how come you live in Chile and didn't experience like camping? Didn't you like it or what?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
It's well, I'm very drawn to my own comfort, and camping is not comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes, because I don't know, you have to like just make the tent,
your own fire, and
make your own fire.
Your own like food, maybe canned food also. Yeah.
Yes. It's fun if it's like picnic.
But living there for 3 days, it's not.
Yes, it's not for me. But like my friends always enjoyed it. So that is why like once I tried it with them, but then I was like, okay, no, this is not for me. But it's really fun, like to be surrounded, like for example at night you're just listening to the different voices or like noises in the forest, and like you also hear the beach waves, like the sea and everything. That is very relaxing at the same time, which I could also do on campus because like my dorm was basically facing the sea as well. So yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So a lot of students are being very concerned about coming to Turkey, and then they don't know what to do. So a lot of the universities are providing actually a couple of services for the students after they came to the campus. So if I came to Íşk University and went directly to the international student office, or maybe even before coming to Turkey, they may have a little bit of support in terms of visa issue and all of this. So what do you do in terms of helping the students before they coming to Turkey and after coming to Turkey?
Of course. So I also went through all that, and the international office always helped me. Right now what we do differently is that every week we host an info session for the students who've made their application, and we basically are there for them if they have any questions, to tell them what they need to do next, at what stage their application is. They're able to communicate with us directly, face-to-face, one-on-one, or in a group. It doesn't matter, but once a week we have this day specified for them. They can reach us out regarding everything, whether we start from as soon as they complete their deficit payments, they have received their final acceptance letter. So we assist them with the registration, because our registration is also online, so they could do it even before they arrive to Turkey from the comfort of their home.
Yeah, the final registration, right?
Exactly, the final registration, yes. And also with their visa processes, we send them visa support letter to the embassies they're applying from, to facilitate the visa process for them as well. And then once they arrive, they come to the campus. We help them with allocating them in the dormitories, helping them with either if they have a payment to complete, we go with them to the bank, or help them open a bank account. Basically all the assistance they need is provided for them, because yes, like I have been through that as well, and I know the difficulties they go through, especially if they arrive and they don't know anything and they need guidance, or at least someone who points the things that they need to do. So we really care about that as well. It's very important that they get the assistance they need. So we are with them every step of the way, even like after they complete their registration, they start their classes with the residence permit application, with the equivalency, which is the denklik. All these processes, like we provide assistance, full assistance with.
Okay, now I'm like able to more understand the home and the family concepts that you've been talking
yes,
about.
Yes,
this.
Of course. I mean, aside from that, I always tell the students that and they do actually, some of them, they come to me for advices. I always tell them that my door is always open. Like our office is always open for everyone. They could like, if they need assistance with anything, they could come to us, or even if they just want to chit chat and have like a coffee break, they can stop by, and they do actually. And we are very happy for that, because as I said, like at the end of the day, like we are all one big family.
So like every university, we've had a lot of stories about other students in other universities studying at this specific university and then like achieving their dreams in the future. Maybe like you, like after studying business administration, doing your MBA, and then you are still like developing yourself and in terms of career development and also self-development to achieve your dream. So do you have any story about a student studied in Íşk University and then?
Yes, like, definitely. We had a Nigerian student. His name was Faisal. He, the university, like since his first semester, provided him merit scholarship because his GPA was very high. The merit scholarship is something that the university provides for the students who have like excellent academic performance. Basically, they have very high GPAs, and actually 10 out of 20 students who receive the merit scholarship on like a semester basis are international students. So the international students are really benefited, like they're benefiting from this scholarship, and this just shows how the university actually cares or like focuses on the quality of the students' performances and like how their education is going as well. So Faisal received the merit scholarship since his first semester until he graduated. So it was a full funded like scholarship, by the way.
Okay.
And he graduated from...
Does it covers the university fees or
the university fees?
Okay.
The university fees, yes. And he graduated with a 3.98 GPA from electrical electronics engineering.
A very high department.
Yes, and the university rewarded him with a full scholarship to Maryland University in the US for his postgraduate studies. So now he's there doing his postgraduate studies, and yes, he's achieving his dreams. So yes, by graduating from Íşk. So, and the university always, I mean, the professors, they were always with him. I mean, he was always working with the professors as well. So they have a huge impact and huge contribution in his achievement as well.
This is perfect, actually. Okay, Faisal, it's good to hear that about you.
Yes.
I hope you all the success in your career journey. Okay.
Yes.
And also, do you have any other programs at the university, like Erasmus program? Maybe you can talk about this.
Yes, we have Erasmus Place and global exchange programs. Basically, after the students complete their registration and complete one semester at Íşk, they are able to apply for Erasmus programs and go study 1 or 2 semesters in European universities. We have over 100 partnered universities across Europe. They could go for 1 semester, and if they wish to extend, they could extend it to 2 semesters. In addition to the academic part of it, we also have the Erasmus internships. Basically, for the summer, if the students wish to have their internships in Europe, they could apply to this program, and they could for example, choose one of, or like contact one of our partnered firms across Europe, they could go and do their internships there. One of the best advantages, especially for international students, for this like Erasmus internships, is that if they really, if that goes well, then the firm actually offers them a job afterwards, after they graduate. And this, like, they could apply for this internship even after they graduate. Like the first summer after their graduation, they could still like apply for it. So this is a huge opportunity for them. Yes.
Yeah, of course, because like a lot of Turkish universities that our friends are studying at, or even maybe other universities in all general in Turkey, they don't have partner firms in the like other like outside of Turkey, abroad Turkey, because like they have like partnerships inside Turkey, and the students are doing the internship inside Turkey like comfortably. It's totally okay. But in terms of Erasmus program and the firm outside Turkey, it's like facing difficulties about finding the best firm for them, or even about finding a one firm to apply in Erasmus. So this is very good to know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also like we want to, what's your opinion about studying in Turkey? What is the advantages about being a student in Turkey? What's like, what can I do as a student? What can like this some kind of discounts maybe, or like living in the as a student in Turkey generally?
Of course. If we look at it from financial aspects, which I think most of the students are like, very concerned about that, it's very affordable compared to like, studies worldwide or universities worldwide. It like compared to them, it's very affordable. Living in Turkey is also very affordable. Yes, in Turkish lira it might be high, but like it's still quite like affordable compared to the other countries in the world. And additionally, Istanbul is a very metropolitan city. It has lots of opportunities. If these students want to even pursue like their careers abroad, like for example in Europe, USA, Canada, I don't know, in different countries, this could be like the first step for them. They could start from here and then they could like proceed there. And also adaptation wise, living in Turkey is quite easy. Like you adapt to things very easily, and especially since the cultures, no matter how different they are, more or so it's like the same at the end of the day. Like it's easily adaptable. That is like how I can put it. So it actually grows on them as well. So this is the first step that they could take if they want to pursue, even like afterwards, like go to different countries as well. So yes.
Okay, and in terms of their careers, if they want to like pursue their career in different country, what is the advantages of being graduated from İşek University at the first place, and also from Turkey generally?
First of all, I want to point out that according to statistics, this is also like something that we've recently got to know. According to statistics, İşek graduates are like at the first spot of being hired in Turkey. So this is like a huge deal for us as well. This is like a wonderful opportunity for our students and graduates as well. So first of all, İşek graduates, they do experience lots of things, especially like even throughout their studies at İşek, because we have a career office that directs the students towards internships, paid or like unpaid internships. They do volunteer acts a lot. They're very actively participating in clubs, in the clubs that, in the university, the student clubs, for example, like social responsibilities, or like even the departmental clubs, or like the
reading, sports
social,
clubs, and everything. Yeah.
Yes, so these clubs are always very active. They're all active, and they all do like get engaged in different activities, for example, and it's actually builds the students' responsibilities, like the sense of responsibility, the sense of achievement,
and also
which is also very
their
important.
skills in terms of soft skills and technical skills and all of that.
Exactly. So afterwards, adapting to work life becomes easier for them because they are already accustomed to some of these responsibilities, or like they have a sense of what's going to happen. We also have assistant students in every department who work like with us, and like for each department a certain number of students work part-time throughout this semester, and even like during summer they're always with us. They get to know like what we do, like how we do it. They get to experience the work life. Of course, this is very important because students, like as a student, you never know what's waiting for you like after you graduate. So having a taste of that before you graduate is really important. So yeah, I think that summarizes my answer.
And already the students that are watching us right now, if they want to like apply to a second university, how can they do this?
Our application system is very user-friendly. They could just go to our website, click on the apply button. They could do their application throughout Turkey campus as well. And after they complete their application, the application basically is they have to fill information, upload their documents, and that's it. After they submit their application, I evaluate their application within 2 to 3 working days. I don't take much time, I promise.
Good.
And afterwards, they receive their, like if it's positively evaluated, then they receive their offer letter. And afterwards, they have to make the deposit payment to secure their seat. So they have to make sure that the quota is not like over yet. And afterwards, I send them the final acceptance letter and the registration link. As I said, the registration link, the registration is completely online. So they could do it even like before they arrive to Turkey. They could finalize all their processes before they arrive, which is actually really good. So once they come, they just get started right away.
Okay, this is very good. So in this episode, we've like learned a lot of information about Íşk University and the features of it and the departments and also the academic stuff, how they like where to teach the students and where to like answer their questions even outside the sessions and the courses and everything, and also the outstanding atmosphere of Sheila and being like beside the beach and everything. And also we've get to know you more well about your like personality and also your like being a vegan. I think I don't know you are getting along with this, but I think it's really hard to know this.
It is. I mean, when I came to Istanbul at the beginning, it was hard, but right now it's not actually. There are lots of vegan options.
Yeah,
but according to people, people always think that it's difficult. That is because they have like this first impression on veganism. Yeah,
of course. Like, and also like not vegetarian, being vegan, it's extra more hard for me. I think. But already in Istanbul, I've visited a lot of restaurants. They already have a lot of options to vegetarians and also a lot of options to vegans. So that as you said,
it's increasing a lot in numbers, and even the products. Like when I came, there were like very few vegan products, but right now there are many options.
Yeah, of course. And also it's good. Maybe I will make you the recipe that you gave us in this episode.
Yes, I will be waiting to hear from you about that. Of course. Trust me, it's really good.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And at the end of our episode, we want you to imagine Sandra before entering the university, before coming to Turkey. And also Sandra is right now studying at some middle school in some country abroad Turkey or maybe inside of Turkey. And she is like a little bit concerned about what to choose in the university, which department, and also which university, which department, which country maybe to study in. So we want you to like give a message to Sandra. What would you tell Sandra in terms of like assist her in their like future life?
I would tell Sandra to trust her gut. Don't fear the outcome. She will reach where she wants at the end of the day, because what matters is the commitment and the willpower to go through with everything, no matter how difficult it is. There are certain goals that we have to reach, and in order to reach them, we have to like just push beyond our limits so that we would be able to accomplish them. So I would just tell her to like believe in herself and go through with it.
Okay, this is very sweet to hearing from you. Okay. Thank you for being with us today.
Of course, thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Episode. It was an honor to us as well. We will expect you to participate in our events in the future, actually.
Of course,
we will also visit the
to.
university. I hope that we can come in one place with the students and also with you in all the university campus.
Yes, I would love that
events.
as well.
It would be perfect.
Yes.
Okay, thank you again for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Please let us know your comments in the comments. Let us know what do you want us to host in the future episodes, and also let us know your feedback generally about the episode. And if you have any questions about Íşek University, about other universities, we would be more than happy to answer them. So see you in another episode, and bye bye.